Coming out of shoot war. Are you going to go to Floresville?
No.
Okay, so I guess I need to get your right here.
I guess get a comfortable chair.
Bring it.
Stacy didn't do anything other than she worked in the garden a little bit this morning. She came in, she was so tired. I was there, I was watching the golf.
Yeah,
And
but
then she says,
and then
she says, I think I want to go to Costco. I said, what are you going to Costco for? Well, I got to get some things, we need some milk. I said, that's what let's go to the Hacker dealership, look at the garden, and then we'll leave over to the Costco. We're not going to get another car, baby. Take your old truck.
stand corrected. Well, you did. I'm talking about your ride. Yes, you did. And it was very good. I'm not sure to the Oriental place. I looked it up. See, it's not on my list.
Like she said earlier in the week, well, why don't we plan to go out somewhere?
Okay, I heard it great. I heard it actually. And I knew he was courageous. So I was in the theater because he was absolutely
I thought you were
wonderful.
tell me about Lincoln killing the vampire.
No, it's supposed to be. I don't do scary things. I don't care. I don't care. But, okay, please, but at least she's not feeling bad. That's the important thing. I don't want her to feel bad.
I'm tired. In fact, today we were wondering, I started to well, the doctor said he's borderline diabetic. And I said, I keep telling you, because all of the symptoms, tired, you get sleepy, fatigued easy, you just always seem to and to me, it's something to keep, and it's been a while since you've been to this.
No complaints. Good.
Ruby Manning. Okay, Ruby is president of the Republican Party here.
That's what I think we have to do.
Okay, good. Anyway, he's got that freaking breath and bill and he wakes up freaking.
Donna?
To go to the shop.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
And let DC in. They're talking about having an arrest warrant now. Sure, because she'll have to check the register. So, DC, Donna will get you in.
Okay.
You guys will have that social.
Somebody told me when this is over with, don't leave me.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Somewhere.
We'll get you there.
Over to this
You can either go around this way, around that way, and then this way, you can go this way,
Or
around
you can go the other way.
Or you can just follow him.
Either way.
Because if the sun's still up, if the sun's up, just keep finding that shiny chrome dome.
Yeah.
Oh, he did this?
You can have other things on the side. Okay, I'm gonna go sit down and be good, I think, I hope. Did you get that on camera?
Yeah,
That other stuff?
sorry about that. They haven't started yet, so everybody's running around. And the man of the evening comes in. Mayor Tahara, hiding behind the bird. Up there. Mayor Tahara. See what he has to talk about tonight.
No, see how it is. Yes, definitely. And your mother working on
Yeah, that's a different, that's a separate campus. It's all it
Let's see if we can get your picture.
Susan said she read it to you today. Susan said she read it to you today. She's gonna teach you how to. She's crazy.
Did you get my son?
She was funny. It is crazy. She said, I was like, what did you do that? She has her horses out there. Is it Dawn?
Good, busy.
Yeah.
Sound tired?
Which are neighbors right across the street. I didn't know that. She was telling me, oh, yeah, I gotta go there. Yeah, our house is just here and it's directly across the street. Very nice area. I love it. I missed it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, nothing interesting yet. Haven't heard no secrets.
Are you gonna go to the consulate again? She said, I haven't decided yet. My dad has been really sick. He's supposed to be scheduled for surgery this week and have pneumonia. So we're putting it off. Scheduled right now. It's really pretty massive. So,
See, we'll give you a little donation.
yeah, sure. But I'm gonna buy it. It's okay. I'll come see you next week. Sure. Okay, thanks.
Wiggle in and out.
Secrets of the mayor is why it starts. Honestly, nothing happened yet.
No? Hello. Hello.
Can I have your attention, please? I know a lot of y'all did here. New ones, make sure you have your cell phone turned off. And if you must talk, communicate with your partner next door, step outside. Thank you.
Welcome to City Hall. Today is June the 14th. We have a forum tonight to conduct city business. Council members present are Morones, Gomez, Guerrero, Castillo. I'm going to ask our city attorney to lead us in invocation before we proceed with the business.
Mr. Mayor, I want you to know that there are two of us here tonight in my office, and so I'm not in the capacity of attorney tonight. I'm in the capacity of your invocator.
Thank you. I'm sure you do well as well.
Thank you, sir. Mary bow our head. Our Father, we ask that you guide us tonight, that we observe those rules and regulations that call for duty, call for service, and call for sacrifice. As we approach Father's Day weekend, we ask that those of us of the male gender be aware of our responsibilities and our obligations to serve our community, to serve our families, and to serve you in what you expect of us. You set high standards for us in all of the prophets, both female and male. You've asked us to be your servants, and we ask that all of us that are in public service might respect the fact that Christ asked us to wash the feet of those we serve. In his name we pray this evening. Amen.
And in recognition of Father's Day, there's a lot of young ladies out there also serve as mother and father for their children. Thank you. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Old business approved minutes from May 24th. Regular meeting. It's in your packet, council. The motion to approve as presented for May 24th.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes of May 24th as presented.
Second of that? Okay. Motion by Castillo, second by Guerrero to approve as presented May 24th minutes. All in favor, say aye. Council, on our agenda here indicates approval from May 31st, but I don't see it in our packet. So we can just skip that to the next meeting. Can we have a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to table minutes of May 31st special meeting.
Who's second to that?
Second.
Motion by Goodell, second by Castillo to table May 31st minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, in your packet, there is a June 11th, which was this past Monday. Motion to approve the minutes?
For minutes of no meeting.
I don't know, you said report that we were here. Make a motion to approve the minutes of July 11th.
Second.
Motion by Morales, second by Guerrero, to approve minutes from June 11th. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? I approve the minutes as presented. 2-2 and appropriate finding. Approve the minutes from June the 12th. Tuesday is the workshop.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes from June the 12th. As stated.
Second to that.
Second that.
Motion by Castillo, second by Gomez, to approve minutes from June the 12th. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 4-0. This is the time of the month that we recognize our Employee of the Month. Send that over to Andy Johnson, our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, citizens. The employee of the month for the month of May is Andres Ibarra. Andres has been employed with the city of Floresville since June 28, 2002, and currently holds the designation of Water Department Foreman. Andres not only supervises 4 operators, 2 meter readers, and 1 water production team member, he works just as hard or even harder than they do. Why does he do that, you may ask yourself? Very simple. He's a picture-perfect example of a supervisor who leads by example. Approaching his 10-year anniversary with the city, Andres currently holds a C license in water and has met all his requirements to test for his B license. He also maintains a CDL license and certifications to operate heavy equipment, and most importantly, to the citizens of our great city. He loves his job and displays it in the quality of work he performs. For his dedicated service to the citizens of Floresville, who recognize Andres Ibarra, Employee of the Month.
Congratulations, sir.
Would you please get up there and take a picture with the council on this? Thank you, sir. If anybody knows the Tejano singer Roberto Pulido, that's what he looks like. Thank you, Andres.
Mr. Russell. Yes. You have an update for the cemeteries?
Do I have a story for you?
All right.
Be nice.
Maybe I'll drink a whole bottle of wine. Okay, we had a meeting, and to pick my replacement, which is very important. My replacement's name is Martha Ashenberg Russell, temporary replacement, supposedly. And see, sometime in the middle of next week, we'll be divorced, will be official. Now, Mayor, I got this suggestion.
Yes, sir.
You know that deal coming up on July 4th?
Yes, sir.
I'll be glad to join in a men's quartet to say all my exes live in Texas. So will you work on that?
Okay, you and I and who else? Or the other two?
Well, no, that's right, I only have one more.
Okay, we can do them.
Well, I have both my exes. But anyway, I'm really, you know, this happened so suddenly, I really kind of am taking for my notes in the Fond Farewell article in the newspaper a couple of months ago. I feel like much progress has been made on the city cemetery. When I look at the city cemetery, I love to go over that earlier and see those flags. And even though I'm moving to Austin here shortly, I'll be down here. And I asked to be on the, the advisory committee of the association. And I think on the celebrations I look forward to, because obviously I think because everything that's happening, we need to, look further down the line. But I would like to recommend, these are goals, and for me only right now. On Veterans Day, it's a real full day. So we can have something late, like 5 o'clock. I know this last, November the 11th, and it's on a Sunday. This last November the 11th, we didn't get it publicized, but we had those 2 boys like that, so we didn't do. So I think that's, even though it's just, a week after the election or something like that. But anyway, I'll be following up with people on that. And of course, Memorial Day should be the big one. That's May 27th, 2013. And that's what I would like to see, everything paved in the city cemetery, and the tree work done, and the trees planted across the park to the left, going over towards the post office. A real nice group of trees, or really probably more, you might call them bushes, something like that. But anyway, so the cemetery, the African American cemetery on Blum Street, it needs a complete work over. Basically, I had an appearance in front of them a while back, and it didn't help a whole lot, evidently. And what they do, we've got water, so I was worried, checked in there, and they had one fountain, and it wasn't working. And I need to do one. Canary Islands Cemetery. Surprisingly, I heard the people on the phone on that one. One lady said, I just know I've got relatives in there. Do we have a list? And so I think that Maureen Lyles is going to get us a list. But I think that's the good news about the association is advisors like Maureen Lyles and I can't think of the other name. Of course, I mentioned the African American slaves are supposed to be buried under a slab. Somebody's moaned about half of that cemetery. And I hope that's not. I don't know. That we still own that moor that has a spring turner out front, and it's stored by the city. So I think we can tie in communications with that. It'd be real good. It's summertime, and we should have a lot of volunteers for summertime's the time. Boy Scouts, kids out of school, the city manager's daughter. No, really, one of the big things that needs to be done, I checked back with the county agent a while back, not too long ago, and all those sprouts on the crepe myrtle need to be taken off. And they're big, but they took away from the crepe myrtle, and it won't help them much this year, but when we get next April, May, a year from now, it would just be fabulous. We need to work real close with the county agent and that kind of thing. Trial Brothers is up there at the corner of 2nd and Block Street, has a fence around it. And I can look in there and, they have something written on the outside. You can see just a few graves. I don't even know how many, but it's all Trial family. My understanding on it is Trial would like the city to take it over, but we've got to get something in writing. That's my understanding. So I'll also, try to follow up with that, email and all that still there. Matter of fact, I just got an idea. I can email the editor from Austin, and man, you'd be surprised what I might get printed in there. So I did an email from Austin. See, I'm just jumping, looking so serious. Anyway, I like it. I should be better. The Walker Cemetery behind HEB, the weeds were all about like this. But they were mowing that, they mowed it. So you had to go back to 7th Street, and they mowed it almost about 90% of it. And those are over the shoulder, I mean. What's that? Still selling down by the river. I just checked that, this morning, and the sunflowers are 12 feet high. And there's a little trail through there. Do you think I was gonna walk back there with those snakes and everything? And there's, the problem there is the posts, like a part of a light pole. And you could get a mower in there, but I think it's maybe too late for a lawnmower, I don't know. Because to me, that's a disgrace. And I've written before, and I hope I haven't hurt anybody's feelings. I think the Hispanic community ought to really, go to Peach Street, drive all the way south, stay on it, and you'll have to make a turn there. And you look at that thing, it's the one that has a shotgun load. I mean, that's the kind of thing that needs to be in the local kind of news or something. I mean, Jessica Perry told me they really knew a young kid did that right away, and then they knew they did, it didn't make any sense to send the law, put him in jail or anything like that. Water is still the biggest problem because who knows what it's going to do. There's no rain inside now. But I would hate to see, especially the city structure, dry up. It really looks good, I mean, except it's super dry. And, when you get these 95, 100-degree days, what's going to happen. And that's about it. That's what I've got. And, Mayor, keep in touch with me on that quartet.
Okay, so you're gonna be here, when will the next time you'll be here, Mr. Russell? All right, let's move on to new business. Consideration and action to approve a proclamation in honor of the Barcenas family. The Barcenas family has a reunion here in Floresville every year. They had it on May the 28th. They have family members from all over Texas coming to our town, and they ask you to issue a proclamation in their honor. And let me read it. Whereas Pedro Lopez Barces was born on November 26, 1897, in Gillette, Texas. Inez Serengeti was born in La Joya, Texas, on April 20, 1895, and the couple was married on December 7, 1919, in Yorktown, Texas. After the marriage, they moved to Welder, Texas. Pedro and Inez had 4 children: Virginia, Hipolito, Margarito, and Lucy. In May of 1924, in Welder, Texas, Pedro began working with the State Highway Department. The State Highway Department created and maintained roads all over Texas, and Pedro and his family traveled often. In 1931, another job transfer sent Pedro, Inez, and their 4 children to Nixon, Texas, and then a Bruce stay in Stockdale. In 1932, the family made their final move to Floresville, where they resided permanently on November 26, 1961. Pedro retired at the age of 64. Whereas the city of Floresville has recognized the contribution made to our community and is proud to name a city street Barcenas Street. Whereas the Barcenas family is a united family that grows stronger every day. Therefore, I, Mayor Dan Tejada, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 28, 2012, as the Barcenas Family Day in Floresville. Since this is an action item, is there any discussion, any comments? If not, can we have a motion from the council? Any family members from the Barcenas family here?
I make a motion to approve the proclamation in honor of the Barcenas family.
Motion by Gomez, second by Morones to make the proclamation in honor of the Barcenas family. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries 4-0. Consideration and action to approve a special use permit at 2220 10th Street. Ms. Nichols?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a special use permit to develop an RV trailer park. Originally, they had wanted to develop 100+ RV trailers, but through very big discussion and intense conferences that we had, including the P&Z, I wanted to make clear what the P&Z have passed on June the 6th. Let me read that to you. On June the 6th, actually, I'm sorry, on May the 23rd, P&Z wanted to make sure that y'all understood that approving the special use permit at 2220 10th Street, it was to approve, to make a motion to approve up to 50 RV trailers. And as referred to the site plan that they have given to us, 300 feet from the rear property, the rear plan of the property. They wanted me to make sure that y'all understood that when they approved this on May 23rd, that it was to approve up to only 50 RV trailers and up to 300 feet from the rear property of the line. And I have a picture of the site plan that they want to, that they have come and produced for us on that meeting.
Cindy, man, what sits on that land already?
I'm sorry?
What sits there already? Is there anything there?
It's a vacant lot. It's approximately 9 acres, a little bit less than 9 acres. We did all the preliminary work on the utilities. We ran it through to our city engineer. So we did it for the 100+ trailers. And it would meet the capacity that he was given to us.
This is an action item. Is there any discussion? So the P&Z approved it?
Yes, sir. Up to 50, yes, sir.
If there's any comments, if you come up to the podium and give us your input. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm the engineer of record for the development. I do have a 11 by 17 kind of presenting what's proposed. Can we keep it up? We have actually two versions of these.
Your name, sir? I'm sorry.
Mike Sabella.
The 36 units in front, what are these?
So the first exhibit is the one that shows RV spaces at the rear of the property. And what happened was, when the application was submitted for special use permit, it was originally intended to have the whole park developed as RV. But after kind of assessing the whole property, they wanted to make it a multi-use development. And we had discussions with city engineer, city attorney, and so forth, and the P&Z committee. And we understand that to do that, we would have to plat it. But for now, the developer wishes to at least get the process going and get some kind of development going by at least developing the last third of the property as RV. And
Are you the developer, sir?
Yes, sir. So that's, and it's really for, because the process to plat it and so forth is going to take more time, and that's just not a kind of ideal condition. I think the way the permit's set up now, it just want at least the last third of the property to get approval for that portion to get developed as RV. Well, the second exhibit shows what the intended development for the entire property, which 2/3 of it pretty much is intended for mobile home development, and the first two lots could be used for could be a affinity center or park, or it could be commercial at some point, so, but that's the intended multi-use plan for the property.
PNB, what was the vote on PNB?
The main concern was that if they approved the special use permit, it would have been the whole 9 acres for the special use permit. Well, obviously, Mr. Garcia has intended to do different uses on that property. So we told him that there was a lot involved to start doing that. So the PNC, originally, like I said, he wanted to do 100 plus. The PNC was concerned about that. So, but then when he says, I want to include mobile homes, well, that's a whole different process to start all over again. So Mr. Garcia was saying, well, can we do this? So they wanted to make sure that they were approved of 50.
And this is just on the back side, right?
That's the rear.
And your name, sir, I'm sorry?
This is Oscar Garcia.
Oscar Garcia.
And your recommendation? The vote at the council, at the PNC meeting was 3 issues, in regards to the approval of the development. We did all of the legwork been done, and very good job. Our recommendation is to follow the.
Is there any other businesses around?
Well, you have Highland Oaks Apartments right next door. Pahadi Caprice the other way. You got Angel Flooring in front.
Was there any negative feedback?
We did get some,
You got a list of the names?
I do have a list. I don't have it with me now, but we do have a list.
What were the concerns of the two logos? What were their concerns? We had, I was there, we had the owner of Angel Flooring, who was in opposition. We had Mr. Gerald Lucio, who was in opposition, who was next door. And then we had Mr. Freddie Amato, who was for. What were the concerns were the elements that they would attract, and what kind of hours it would keep, the noise, and the traffic in the area.
And would this here have like a private fence, or would it be a nice to where, because I had heard some kind of concerns too, that it would just be, are you gonna kind of close it in a little, or?
Well, yes, it'll be professionally done, it'll be fenced in, the front will also be landscaped. The idea here is to make it a long-term, because see, what I'm looking at in terms of the mobile homes is that become a long-term project. Once this oil boom ends, then what are you gonna have? The idea is to be able to service the community and have housing available for people that may stay behind because they're still gonna be working in the area where the jobs of the oil companies, but not necessarily all the people, as well as locals.
Are these mobile homes that people bring in, or
No.
you're purchasing them?
Well, I'm purchasing them, they're all brand new. And that's why my idea was to keep it professional, keep it clean, and keep it looking very nice, because I don't want to lose value, and I don't want to create a slum either. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to put the RVs in the back, because that way you don't even see them from the street, the mobile homes are talking about.
Do you have a design of what it would look like?
Well, the design that we had is primarily what
No, but with the landscaping?
not on paper, because, see, what I have to do, I have to hire a landscape architect to do all that. Until I have approval, it's gonna cost me several $1,000s to do that, so I don't necessarily want to do that unless I get, a step forward.
Cindy, what types of fees would be, are impacted? All the impact fees gonna stay, the hotel motel tax, I imagine, no?
With
On
the
the,
RV
on the,
trailers?
no, on the, if there's homes there, or there'd be taxed just like a regular home,
If it's a mobile home,
right?
mobile homes, I don't deal with the tax part of it. I believe that they do pay taxes, property taxes, but,
Excuse me, I'd like to interrupt.
yes,
The approval is for the RV park.
yes.
The rest, they have to come back to council for the approval.
And
The only fees that'll be paid are whatever we.
the RV trailers.
RV trailers.
And the reason why I'm just talking about mobile homes, the RV park ordinance does say that you cannot mix mobile homes and RV parks. And that's why he wants to start with this part first. And proceed with the planning process to do mobile homes.
Did you say that the ordinance prohibits the condemnation of
Yes.
those?
And especially.
And they're going to come back later and get the mobile part approved?
Yes, ma'am,
You
but
have to come
flat
back.
process.
So does that mean we need to change the ordinance, or what, what is that process like?
He would still have to come back and actually present a plaque to show the mobile homes. It's like a subdivision.
It'll be subdivided as separate lots.
It'll be, yes.
Rule 3-2, is that correct?
And I do have a list of the citizens input for that.
If there's no further comments, I'm gonna ask, if there's any input from the citizens. Anyone to come forward in favor or against the project? Did we note that there was no comments regarding the special use permit at 2220 10th Street? Council, are we ready for a vote?
But there is way, some way we can just kind of know it to where they will have it kind of professional. I don't know, do we go with that?
But right now, we're only approving the 50,
Yes, sir.
so
Correct.
the other is not included.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the special use permit at 2220 10th Street for 50 RV.
I'll second that.
Motion by Castillo, second by Gomez to approve the special use permit at 2220 10th Street. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 4-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Consideration and action extending P&Z committee member terms to November in conjunction with the election.
Okay, Mayor, on June 30th, planning and zoning, or I should say, the council approved the bylaws that the planning and zoning initiated. And on Article 3, Section 2, it stipulates the terms that they're supposed to be in the committee. Let me read that to you a little bit. Each member shall serve a 2-year term to end the last day of May. Members' terms will stagger by drawing for initial term of office so that 2 members shall serve 1 year and 3 shall serve 2 years. Appointments shall be made during the first regular council meeting held in May following council election. Well, we all know that our elections are not in May anymore, they're in November, so we need to think about amending the ordinance to say November. We do have 2 committee members. On August 3rd, they appointed the term limit, they did the term limits, the P&Z committee. And that was done on August 3rd, 2011. We have 2 members who have 1-year terms, and that's Robert Leal and David Jaramillo. I guess what we're asking for is to extend their terms until technically they're done with the board. What we're asking is to extend their terms to the end of November when the next election comes.
And that's Mr. Leal and who else?
Robert Leal and David Jaramillo.
Wouldn't that be the case with all the entities with 4A, 4B?
We'll have to change it just like we're doing.
Yeah.
But these are the bylaws that the planning and zoning actually put together and had y'all passed on June 30th, 2011.
Yeah, I'm sure the 4B and 4A is the same. Are you familiar with that, Chris?
I'm not familiar with 4B. We were looking at 4A. I know that is made.
Okay.
I can look at 4B when we get back to the office.
Okay, is there well, first we need citizens input regarding making the terms in conjunction with the city council terms? If not, any discussion from the council?
Yeah, let me just make on a positive note, what a job they've done for the last year. With the growth, with everything that's been coming down our way, I mean, they've had a vigorous job to do in trying to segregate what's needed, what's not needed. So I do have to give them hats off that they've done the one to pick up.
I'll let them know that.
Yeah, these 2 individuals, they I've sat in the meetings and they're active and they know what's going on, so.
Does somebody make a motion?
Yes, I move that we approve extending P&Z committee members' terms to November in conjunction with city elections.
One second.
Motion by Castillo, second by Guerrero. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next item, 3D, consideration and action to authorize the city manager to negotiate a trash and refuse collection contract to begin October 1, and to authorize the mayor to sign such contract upon completion. Mr. Chris, you're the SME on this?
Yeah, I will, I'll take point right here.
Okay.
What this is on May 30th, we met up here with 5 different proposed service providers to go over the sealed proposals that were submitted in response to a request for proposals for the new trash contract. Of those, 4 were accepted as meeting all the requirements for the proposal and taken into consideration. In your packet, there should be spreadsheets put together by Sherry showing the terms that were submitted for different parts for residential collection, commercial collection, and then alternative bids that would provide better value to the city. This is done under Texas Local Government Code 252, a best value proposal. It's not simply a lowest responsible bidder proposal. So it's not simply the low number that is awarded the contract. Rather, it's what the council feels provides the best value for the residents of the city of Floresville. So you should have all the comparative spreadsheets in that packet. And I believe Councilman Gomez was appointed the liaison on this matter. So I believe he has anything to add.
I will say this, that it was nice to get 5 different bids on the track refuse proposal. It's been a long time since we've come to this point, and I'll tell you, in doing numbers, you know, I remember being out there and letting people know exactly what we're looking for. And the service that we're gonna get is very, there's 2 or 3 top people that have given us some really good service. I know we're gonna look at all 3. I can tell you this, we'll be saving anywhere from $575,000 to almost $840,000 in a 5-year term. That's close to $1 million. That's not including maybe some of our, some other waste areas, some better services in other places, brush pickup, you know, trash pickup. We're really looking at our services. And not only that, but they all know that we're trying to begin our own trash refuse, so they are willing to work with us in that effect. Looking at a 5-year plan, right now off the bat, we can probably start investing in our first truck to unveil probably by the end of by the beginning of the fiscal year. This is pretty exciting. I won't say anything else because we still trying to still negotiate. We will make a choice soon enough, and then we can go ahead and lay out all the numbers for you, and show that with some planning and some really, you know, and I do thank all 5 of us. I mean, this isn't something that just happened. John was on board. We started. Mario was on board. Sherry was on board. Chris was on board. We did it all together. And I can say this, that it's a positive reinforcement for the city of Floresville. Thank you.
So is the council not prepared to enter in?
No, I don't have a problem with Andy negotiating. What I would like for him to do is once he decides that you come before us again and you give us a presentation as to the comparison of what we have now, the improvements, then we all the city, the council knows, and the public, because I know there'll be questions up there, and we should be able to answer them. They stop us on the street, why did you do it, why did you did that? Not be stuck or get caught up like we did last time. I mean, I wasn't on council when it was negotiated, but we don't want to get in that trap again. We want to be able to answer the public, and for myself, I need to know also. So if you would come back and present it to us, and then we can go from there.
So the council will have the last say so, or you doing the hiring?
No, sir. this is how it's been working, and just for public knowledge and the council. The two individuals that stay into the room are the ones that have been working strictly on this project, and they've done an awesome job. They've compiled everything. We've had their attorney on board to make sure we are within our legal rights to do what we've done, and done an excellent job. I agree with you on the issue of negotiating, authorizing me to negotiate, and whatever the council wants to take the step. But I'd like Sherry to give some input on anything that she would like, and then Chris, and then we can make our decision.
I know Sherry had told me to pick up the bids or whatever, and then she told me that we couldn't disclose the amounts or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't get mine Tuesday because she offered to give them to me Tuesday, and I didn't get them because I don't want to let something get out and say, well, but, you know, how do we, are we not supposed to say how much
No, well, legal is,
Legal?
before we do that, can we just, inform the community what was in the bid, what are the service that we were asking for?
In fact, the main service that was requested was bids on residential collection one time a week by automated trucks, pretty much the standard that's going on right now, as well as commercial pickup for commercial accounting. Alternative bids were manual collection, sludge removal, bulk trash collection at home or establishment of a bulk collection site. Did hazardous sludge removal. That's it. And then there was also submissions on here of starting up a recycling program. And so once those were submitted, we did go back and request how much it would cost to start up and conduct recycling operations for all the other contractors to provide everybody a fair, consideration for everything.
Are we asking for a 5-year contract, or what is the term, 5 years?
It's a 5-year with 3-year.
Okay.
And so what this is on there is, and everything's been conducted as transparent as possible. The bidders can tell you there was a giant email chain where people could ask questions and everybody was responded to, reply all. So everybody has been given an opportunity to address and come into this on an equal platform. The only thing that was not disclosed to everybody was everybody bids on certain items because we don't want to give anybody an unfair advantage on that one. Right now, I think it's, we're probably going to get this thing moving forward. There's still, I guess, some considerations to be made by City Council and get this thing going. I think the current contract expires September 30th, so the new one would take effect October 1.
Approximately, what is the value of the contract? For any bidder?
For any bidder? You mean like how much they're...
The annual contract, what is the annual revenue that we'll be paying out, the taxpayers will be paying out?
Well, that would depend on if we ended up, if we changed the unit that we're buying.
Approximately, just for the community to know how much, I think it's approximately $900,000 right now.
Is that something that we want to disclose first? Is that something that we really want to get into on one thing? And with all due respect, Mayor, we just need to make sure that we're on track. My concern, as well as the council's concern, is our timeline. Could you tell us how quick we need to award this bid to be able to offer the existing company or a new company coming in the adequate time for them to come in and service our city? That's our main thing for our citizens: better service and on time and value, of course. So, but how quick do we have to act on it?
Obviously, the sooner the better. Usually like to give, I think most companies would like 90 days to be able to start putting out their, if it's the current contractor, there's already trash receptacles. If it's a new contractor, you have to have a truck going around delivering receptacles to individuals. So 90 days would be about the minimum that we would like to have something finally done, signed.
And when is that?
That would be from September 30th, so August, July. I mean, we're coming up at the end of this month. So what, if the council's not prepared to review and offer, right now, and they can authorize the city manager to begin looking at everything, come back at the next council meeting, offer the recommendation. If the council accepts it, then that's going through, there'll be final negotiations on the contract, and it can begin, immediately thereafter.
Chris, I see some of the bidders here. Is it appropriate for them to say a few words?
As long as they don't address anything, I would prefer, I know not to, just so that somebody doesn't get up there and say something that violates the bidding process. It's always nice to have the representatives here, but in the spirit of open and fair competition under the local government code requisites, it's probably better to nobody get up there just in case.
Okay. Ms. Deacon, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wondered, do you have in place a potential one-to-one contract with the one we got now, just in case this great scenario doesn't happen in one time? Do you have a backup plan in case we can't get a contract signed, sealed, and delivered on time in the meantime?
No, Ms. Deacon, we have to act on the contract. From what we've seen already, the pricing, the value, everything else is gonna be so much better than what we were dealt the last time, because of the circumstances. We know that we are ready to move, but if the council needs some time, then, if we can move to the next meeting would be okay, but we really need to get on it.
And this is something where, in compliance with the local government code, ideally, everything happens, according to the statutes to make sure that everybody's getting, and the problem you get into with emergency situations is it kind of changes the game.
Well, in my own business, Humanago canceled the contract for Medicare Advantage, and it was supposed to transition to patients tomorrow, and it's not happening. So it happens in our world, and I was just wondering if we have a backup plan. The other thing I wasn't clear about, Mr. Gomez, I know for years you talked about wanting the cities to pick up and do their own contract or do their own garbage pickup. Is that in the mix of this go around, or is that futuristic that you're talking about?
That's actually mixed in. I know we talked to.
I'm sorry, it is?
Yes, that's actually mixed in. It's actually going to be put into place by and helped by these certain entities. That was one thing that I did ask for them to help us with. Now, whether it happens and we go through it, the process, it's going to take the format is there to eventually in the end get what our city going and running our own and completing those monies and saving millions for our own community. But until then, they will help us. In other words, when we set this person, or whoever the entity is, they will in turn help us provide the services for our city, for our community, whether it's your trash pickup, commercial, sludge, as he said. You have your we're looking at, for instance, you're looking at your pickup from home. I'm not looking at a site. I want a home to pick up bulk from home. Quarterly, I'm looking at free brush pickup. Quarterly, tri-monthly, whatever it is. We're looking at certain areas, and I'm telling you this, that, and I know I don't want to say too much, but Chris, we have been working on this for a period. I mean, it's been a while coming, and all these entities know what we want to do with our city and where we want to go. And they've all agreed to say, you know what, we can help you get there. But at the same time, they're providing you the same service that we're asking for out of this contract. So we're not losing service. We're not going to say, my main concern, one of my ideas is to get our own pickup for emergency pickup. That's how we start. And that's slowly. And start to see where exactly our fuel costs will be. How much we're going to get our, for our manpower, so on and so forth. I know just in sludge alone, if we can take away from what we're doing, we're looking at saving $40,000 to $50,000 a year just with sludge alone. I mean, it's again, I don't want to go into more detail on that other than, it's all competitive. All these associations or entities out here have given us a bid. when you look at the numbers, and I think John got a packet, you right off the bat, when you look at the numbers, they'll slap you in the face and you'll be like, wow. So it is a big turnout.
I would say as long as those numbers are comparative, in terms of what the city's obligations would be for, workers' comp issues with regard to injury to employees or, personal property or a child getting run over on a tricycle, those kinds of things, including all the maintenance issues that come along with the hardware that you deal with. I would really have to question as a business owner myself, how long that would be for the city to take on that level of responsibility when you can contract it, maybe for a little more, but move some of that responsibility and accountability over to that pickup company. Just my personal opinion. You guys have seen the numbers and you know that, but as a business owner, I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing?
Yeah, the current proposals are strictly, from my understanding, for these companies to provide the services. What I would like to hear from the community though is what type of services do we want? Do we want once a week pickup? Do we want, these are the things that Andy needs to negotiate what's best for everybody using the services. Yes, sir.
I think we're so far along in the process. I listened to the attorney say we've got to have a decision made essentially by the end of the month. I think the concern that Councilman Guerrero stated is the same concern I have. As I read the consideration in action, it's to authorize the city manager to negotiate the contract. Have no problem with that. And then says let the mayor sign the contract without a presentation of what we're getting to the council or to the citizens.
Okay, that hasn't been decided, Jim.
Well, hence my point. If we take that clause out of that statement in the consideration in action, this is a non-issue. It is the job of the city manager to negotiate the contract. Then come back and tell the council what we're getting, what's different, what's better, how much money we're saving, and why we want to go with this contract.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
That's not what the motion says in...
There isn't a motion yet,
or
sir.
the C&A and the agenda.
There isn't a motion yet, sir. But is there any input regarding the services that we're looking for?
Was 2 a day considered at all in the proposal?
Just
twice a week?
the alternative is,
Okay, and did I understand Councilman Gomez to say that they were going to pick up like the shrubs and stuff?
We'll pick up that curbside is part of the.
Because you didn't say that when he was reading out.
Well, that's just...
Sorry, so bulk at the house and a bulk drop-off site were two different alternative bids.
There's alternatives in everything, including twice a week. That's why I'm trying to, it's more complex than what we're saying. So, and it's something that we worked on for a year, months. I mean, it's not something that just happened. Okay, so everything's gone into it, including the attorneys, including the city manager, including,
True.
So anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Personally, I take out trash every time there's the bulk trash day. I would like to see it picked up at my house if possible. I don't have a truck or anything, so I'd like to have it seen picked up at the house. If that's was that an alternative also?
That's actually in the town.
And that's counted in the best value.
Does everybody feel the same or?
Brush pickup, at least 3 to 4
Yes,
times a
ma'am.
year.
Right now, do some customers have 2 a week?
No.
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 Some customers have 2 cans.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, just once a week.
But it is just once a week?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you're looking at once a week and twice a week? And you're looking at recycle, without us having to take it to go the end?
Correct.
The recycle would be picked up at our home?
Well, not recycle, we're talking about bulk pickup. Recycling also. But
Okay.
what I was talking about was bulk pickup.
But are your bids based on 1 time a week or 2 times? Or both?
There's alternative, there was bid submitted for all of these different.
The base was 1 time a week.
Correct.
The base was 1, and then alternative was twice.
Okay.
And then you have, for instance, I know a lot of you have, for instance, Ms. Deacon, I think, had carried 2 ways, right? You think you might have 30 maybe cans, correct? Cans? Let me just say this, we also looked at
I
other
have 3
areas.
right now.
We looked at other areas to take away the money that the citizens spend, for instance. I've talked to all 5 entities. And I said, is there another alternative to say, for instance, someone might not need a can for all year until maybe Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. So I said, what can we do to provide them that service without them getting, and this is just an idea, a bag. A bag that you buy from here for $5, for instance. And this would be a secondary pickup for that week. You don't have to have a can. You can, if that week you say, man, I'm not gonna have enough trash room in my trash can. You can come here and purchase a bag for $4 or $5. Fill it up, and these entities would pick it up. That's an idea that's been thrown around. It's actually been in there. There's a lot more. Like I said, I don't want to go too far, but the value is there, and the service is what's important. The service, the value, everything that we put into this contract is going to be a positive for the city.
Any other comment? Yes, ma'am. Joe House.
Pretty good. Within these three companies that you're considering.
Four.
There's four. I said four.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Four.
It was the three though. Within the four, if the pickup falls on a holiday, what then happens?
There's a makeup day. There's no firm contract made yet. These are all just bids and proposals. The contract would come and negotiate later, and that's something that would be in there. There was a sample contract provided with each bid that kind of laid out what we would be looking at. And in there, it would be, the next day after the holiday would be the bid.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Gomez, if this is a services only contract, why did you just say that we can buy our first truck by the end of the fiscal year?
Because
Is the city going to buy the trucks and
No.
the people going to operate it?
What Mr. Gomez was saying, that the potential is there that we could save some money, that if the city would ever consider that, we would have the revenues to provide that service. But that's not provided, that's not part of the contract.
But what he said was is that we can buy our truck by the end of this fiscal year.
What I'm trying to tell you is we have the potential to do that with the savings, and that's, and I'm telling you that the city, I think you could opt workman's comp. That's in anything you do, whether it's out in the sewage plant, whether it's out picking up brush, whether it's out, all that insurance lies on the city already. We're already liable for everything. We do have insurance for that. Okay, this is an idea that has been thrown around. This is an idea that can work, and this is an idea that will work if we put our heads to it.
Yes, ma'am.
I just have to say, I might be in the minority, but I've gotten along fine with the guys we've got right now. They pick up my trash on time, and I haven't had a problem.
Then you'll be,
Maybe they're one of
The price is the problem.
price.
And that's where I'm trying to
Yes,
tell you,
ma'am.
we're working on that.
I have to ask, are we gonna be looking at an increase?
I
From what
haven't seen
you've
the
seen so
rates,
far?
so I can't tell you that.
In all honesty, the rates would not, I'm not gonna say that that's not gonna happen. All I can tell you is this, that it's already set at the rate it's at. You can't go down, it's already set at the rate it's at. That's all I can tell you. I don't see where.
Go ahead, Kurt.
What it's going to be is, like we said, there's, for the base rates and everything else, when you start talking about adding in recycling, if it's decided that the curbside bulk trash pickup is something that's necessary, obviously there's costs associated with those. Depending on what is finally negotiated, depending on what's put in there, is what's going to determine the actual final monthly bill for the garbage collection. So at this point, really, it's...
We need your legal advice on the course of direction that the citizens want. We know for one, they want it back here on an open city council meeting for the whole council to decide before it's done. Correct?
Correct.
But I need to know for the staff, what's the next step? If we make a motion tonight to authorize the city manager to negotiate, do we pick the top two, the top three, what do we do from here?
What Mr. Miller had brought up was that, the city manager can review all this and bring everything together and get up and speak in front of the city council and say, this is my recommendation, if that's what the citizens would like, to have the city council make the final decision. They could also authorize, direct negotiations right now to award a contract and have the mayor sign off on it. Since the citizens have said we prefer somebody to come back in an open council, go over everything, then that's,
But we can do that right now with the information we
spreadsheets
got,
that are here.
but is that gonna kill any further negotiations?
Well, what's going on right now is until there's a proposed award to one of these, then you can actually start negotiating the terms of the contract itself. And that'll go forward from there. So it won't kill any negotiations, but it would limit it to who the negotiations are with.
Okay.
Can we say tonight that we authorize the city manager to negotiate with all 4 bidders?
Well, it's really, it was a request for sealed proposals, so numbers that were submitted are in stone. Those are submitted until, a proposed award is given.
And once you propose that award, then you can go back
And you can negotiate.
and negotiate even more.
the
So it doesn't stop there.
The holiday pickup schedule, the times, so you don't have trucks coming by at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So where's the room for negotiation then?
Well, that's the negotiation in the contract, the terms of the contract. In terms of the prices and things that are set, these are going to be done, for the most part, for the main items, they're set, because that's the sealed proposals that were submitted. It's going to be now a consideration of value.
I don't have a matrix. Do you have another copy of the matrix?
But by the vote tonight, would it actually just give you all the authority to hire and not come to us?
No, that's up to the council right now. But what we understand already, Councilman, is that you're okay with directing me to negotiate. But we have to pick somebody or pick a couple of companies, whichever ones we're gonna be able to negotiate the value portion of. Just like you said, the actual dollar figure that you've got in front of you, those are set in stone. The negotiation comes in the additional services.
Okay, and the way it sounds, that slowly we're gonna weed them out, or something's gonna happen. We're given a 5-year contract, and we're gonna buy a truck in a year, then why don't we give them a 5-year contract? Why don't we go every 2 years, when there's a council change every 2 years? Okay,
Go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
truck was brought forward as a proposal, it's something that might happen.
Yeah, but the negotiation with everybody was, within time, can you help us get our own company? It was, that's what this man just finished saying right now, that he had talked to everyone and everyone was willing to work with him to try to get the own. Did you just say that, Mr. Gomez?
The whole idea is to create our own. Now, that does not take away from the services that these people are gonna offer the city. Nothing at all. None whatsoever. It's with the idea of the vision to start our own. That's it.
But the vision's been pretty close. I mean, you've been working on this since you got here.
Chris.
You want your own company.
Is it possible that we go into closed session and talk to each of the vendors
No, unfortunately, because.
individually?
No.
Nope.
I just want to make it clear that I want to vote when it comes down time to vote for this trash company, to voice my opinion. That's the way I want it. And at the same time, to discuss with the contract. I can't see somebody giving 5 years, which I respect every company that gives it, that you're going to come in here to work for 5 years, not they come in the way he makes it sound like it could be 1 year, 2 years, as soon as we get going, we're going to go. That's my opinion, my only opinion.
But,
What happened was, we do have in the proposed contract, there is language that the city might want to buy its own truck to conduct post-holiday, when there's extra pickup, to conduct, emergency pickup, things like that. And we did have an open meeting here on May 17th where all the contractors came in, and it was put forth that the possibility is there that the city would get its own truck, and begin moving forward with that.
I'm pretty sure if you talk to any of these companies here to have an emergency backup day, they'll give you a price that they can do it. It's just, where we're going. And let's not go around these people, because I'm kind of dumb, that people think, so don't think that the other people are,
no, that's not true.
Well, why buy a truck? We can just tell me, can you come on emergency day? Can we do that or we can't?
Yeah, that's all part of negotiations.
Okay, why don't we do that instead of, for some reason we got rid of it.
If I may, I'd like to thank the council as well as all of the companies that put bids in. We've got some really great services. We've got some options out there that I think the citizens are really going to like. It's things they've been asking for. We work very hard. The council's been involved involved in this and trying to keep it going. I think that it's going to be very beneficial. I think all of the constituents are going to be happy with the new truck contract. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been involved, and it's been a great process, and we've had some really great people to work with to get to where we need to be.
I'd also like to also have a little feedback from my council fellow members here that I know nothing about the contract other than Tuesday because they had something that they had. You know, kind of when they leave out on the cold, you know, and they can say, oh no, it's, you know, probably, you know, this is what's working or this is nothing. So, just like today again, we'll practice just to get right here in the front.
Yes, ma'am.
Will the citizens be able to view these proposals at any time after they're being looked
Chris?
at or whatever?
Yeah,
Will the citizens be able to view the proposals?
once everything's been considered and awarded, the council, the citizens can view to make sure that, you know, there was no irregularity.
And at what point would that be?
That'll be after that there's a proposal.
After it's already selected?
That there's a proposed award. It could be before the contract is actually signed, but there would be a period.
So after the fact?
Proposed award.
Right.
So, you know, it doesn't make sense to me that we have some people who want to do business with us, and we can't ask them, where do you do business? How long you been in business? What cities do you serve?
That's all part of
That's all part of it.
That's all things that are being reviewed and
Okay, when does the council see that?
I'm already seen them, probably 2 or 3. They're available to me since Tuesday.
Mayor, can we please keep this positive? This is a positive thing for the.
It's positive.
No, it is positive.
It is positive.
And this is very important.
Positive thing for the community. They ask the right questions. They know what they want is either the same quality or service that they got at a better price with the same company or something as close to that as possible. You authorize the staff to do all the work for them. You are the elected body, but the bidding process is very stringent according to the law, and we need to keep it that way.
Okay, well, Council, what do you want to do?
And one thing, just one request, that we know that we're on a timeline, so we can make sure that we don't fall prey to the same thing that happened the last.
So what's
Timeline of the ending, the last day is
September 30th is the date that the last trucks under the current contract go out to collect refuse.
But 90 days is required to mobilize.
And it's preferable to move.
So that day falls on June 30th, you said?
Correct.
Okay, so at our next council meeting, we can make a decision.
Correct.
June 28th.
But you have to give the city manager time to negotiate that, approval to negotiate that, or staff, whichever way you want to count it. If not, we can just start with what we've got. We've got the information here, correct?
And it's really a two-step process. What it is there's a proposed award based off of the numbers that are in the packets and what's put in front. Then the second is to negotiate the actual contract, which is, you know, the dates of pickup, the times of pickup, the, you know, special occasion type thing. All that goes into contract negotiations. So there's the step where the council approves a proposed award based off of what's in the request for proposals, and then the actual signing of the contract to begin operations as a, you know.
But how do we decide which companies are being negotiated with?
Well, that's what you have to approve with the figures that you have in front of you.
So we just go with the lowest bid?
No, that's value. No, that's what it is. Items here have the best value.
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't the proposed award, or can the proposed award be presented to the council? Maybe not necessarily in open session, if that's an issue. But what I'm hearing is the council hasn't even seen the proposed award based upon the RFPs. If they're going to make a decision to go negotiate that proposed award, shouldn't they know what that proposed award is?
Well, there is no proposed award yet.
Oh, okay.
No company has been said, we propose to award it to you at this time.
Now, can the city manager make that presentation to the council that it is my intention to propose the award to this company for these reasons, and this is where these are the things we're gonna negotiate on? I think that's what the council's asking.
That's exactly what
That's what the council
We
will
can do
put.
that right now, can't we?
Yes,
All right. The staff has all the information on hand, has the top two companies, or top one company, or whichever one according to what they've seen. The two individuals at the end of the room right there have done extensive work, so that's what I'm saying. If we don't do anything right now, and we come back at the next meeting, we're still gonna be at the same place we are today. So they can come in right now and give you what they want, make the recommendation, and then move forward.
How should that motion be then, Chris?
Well, the CNA isn't on there to select a proposed award as it is right now. So,
Can you amend that motion? Can you make that motion legally with what you've got, but add whatever language you need right here in front of the citizens? Are they okay with that, or do you have to repost it?
it should be reposting, give the citizens time to come in to view it and then come in and make comment on the proposed awarding.
Special meeting?
We can do a special meeting on that.
We've got a budget workshop scheduled for next Thursday. We can have a meeting beforehand or whatever we need to do on the same day. Okay.
So I have a question. Can the 90 days be negotiated with the two new companies that are coming in? In regards to given our timeline to the old company versus the new company, if we're not in our 2-week time frame as of today?
The old contract has already been noticed that, it's going to be terminated, and there's a new contract that's going to be taking effect October 1. The 90 days is more to give whoever is awarded time to ramp up and move forward. It's not a statutory timeline or anything like that. It's to allow time for people to ship down the carts, poly carts as they're called, and to get them on the trucks and delivered to customers and everything else.
We don't need another $50,000 fee because they have to move on the next day or the same day. That's what we're done with. Last contract.
So, if the council would like, you can, then, I guess, table this, and then if we post something for a special meeting to propose an award, and then this can be taken up with the proposed award, authorizing the negotiations with that awardee.
Legal, we've got somebody in the audience that may have some questions. But hold on, you need to understand that he is one of the current providers.
Yes.
He is a current contract.
Right.
So, what's your?
Well, if it's something on, public discourse, because this is public, then that's acceptable. If it's something on specific questions about this or anything else, then we prefer to.
No, I just see there seems to be, obviously, the timeline pressure, and I would stand here in front of you tonight and say, we'll be happy to give you a 90-day extension on your current agreement if you would like to take the pressure off.
Thank you.
I don't hear
I understand the class, but according to the figures that we're paying right now, as compared to the figures that they propose, are way too different for us to even consider that. You need to be aware of that.
I'm not trying to get, I'm just saying,
And
it's there.
be aware of that.
And we appreciate the gesture and everything.
Also, we can help out if there ever is a problem
No, we did in a hurry, man. We like to do things in a hurry here.
This isn't a process over here. This just didn't happen today. Everyone's had the same opportunity to make each meeting just like we have. You set yourself aside, we're all in the same group. I make that time to be here when I need to. I make the time to get in.
Yeah.
You want to hear Monday? You want to hear Monday, will you?
Again, Mayor.
Andy? Andy,
Can we get back on topic, please?
Okay.
One more time, and it's
You live in 4 years?
Mayor. Yes. It's for the citizens' benefit that we get back on topic and talk about the trash contract, rescue contract.
Rather talk about the service.
If it was something that was minor, it would be one thing, but this is a major deal.
Guys, come on.
Hey, boy.
Okay, Chris. You're the subject matter expert.
Well, if it's the council and the people's will that there's the proposed order reviewed by the council first before there's authorization given to the city manager for any of this, then it is, it's council's decision. But there could be a proposed motion to table.
Well, but if we go that route, Chris, we're talking about pretty much the same thing we're doing right now.
There could be a discussion scheduled as well.
What is gonna change?
There's nothing changing with that.
Yes, there is.
From what we got today till next meeting?
Excuse me, sir?
What's gonna change, what information is gonna change that's not available to the council?
For one, I don't have nothing.
Ms. Moroza says that he hasn't had seen the RFPs, and this would also say the CNA to review and create a proposed award would be the change, and then the authorization would be moved forward.
What are the ramifications of that information getting out before the bid is awarded?
Once a proposed award is made, it's public.
No, but before it's awarded.
The numbers are set in stone, so it's not going to change anybody's bid position. So the legal ramifications are few as far as the information being out there. That's something that's outside of our scope of.
Okay,
And
you're saying we're gonna negotiate, but if the prices are set, and we're gonna go with these prices, then where's the negotiation process?
The extra steps.
Yeah.
Extra step, recycle, brush.
Holiday.
It's the actual terms of the contract. Like I said, we won't run our trucks between 6 a.m. We'll only run.
But Andy's not limited to discuss it with one bidder?
It would have to be with the proposed award, and then when drafting the contract, they will.
So nothing will change, that's what I'm trying to say, nothing's gonna change until we get, this awarded. And we're back to, lowest bidder, second lowest bidder, what, best value, one of those is. That's my concern, man.
So you got a checklist that we all kind of agree on.
Yes.
And you're gonna go down their proposal, you're gonna check that. And you're gonna have those checks, get through.
That's been done, and they have all the right. They have.
So you already know.
Would it be simpler if it's Andy's job to do this anyhow, for a council member to make a motion that Andy does his job, and then you guys go into executive session, let him give you his rationale on why he thinks company A, B, C, or D is the best value, then you guys do it in closed session, then come back in open session, and then discuss it with the public as to what you're gonna go forward with, and then the mayor signs the term contract.
The issue with that is that there's only very specific limitations on when you can enter into closed session. And this is for a contract for a service, not a personnel decision, so it doesn't fall within.
Well, can we do that in open session? Just
Come
like
back in open session, and the council votes on it in front of all of us.
Chris, listen to this motion that Ms. Castillo has, with this recommendation.
I move that we authorize the city manager to review and recommend to council in open session.
For the proposed award.
Yes.
And
Simple.
it's
Do
simple.
we city manager or city staff, both, since we've done all the legwork on it?
It's city staff, I think that, we'd be prepared to do so.
City staff.
But if as Councilman Moran had said,
Well, I'm going to do what I gotta do, but I'm gonna vote no just for the record to say that I have no copy, that's the only reason. I have nothing personal against any other company. And, if they don't wanna table it, if for some reason, we already know who the company is. It's not full of nobody. And, not so fast. But anyway,
Okay, did everybody hear the motion?
you want to say it again?
Can you do that? That wasn't the CNA.
Authorize the city manager.
Hold on.
Yes.
Legal again?
again, that is not the case. There's nobody's been selected, nobody's been awarded.
Well, my opinion, that's not, you know how it works.
My question was, can that motion be made given the agenda, the way it is spoken, stated in the agenda? A motion to authorize the city manager to review and select is not on the agenda.
They got a table. And that's what the lawyer is trying to say. Yeah.
And that's the only way that, Mr. Merrill has, and that's what I was saying, we table into a special meeting to authorize it, but, because right here it's got CMA to authorize the city manager to negotiate a trash and refuse collection contract with the city council. To put in the proposed award and present it.
Well, I think the council is asking for final approval. Can we put those words into it before we issue the contract?
And then the mayor sign in and put council approval.
And it's not going to track and unfortunately with the timeline, I know it's very tight, but to make it legal and make it follow the open meetings act and everything else, it needs to be the agenda item authorizing the city manager or someone to present a proposed award. We do have all the information, so we could be called up to do so, but it would just, the motion would be tracking this to authorize the city manager to take the action.
I'll make a motion to table item 3D.
I second.
Motion and second to table item 3D, authorizing the city manager to negotiate a trash contract. All in favor say aye.
Aye. And that is with the motion to reschedule an emergency meeting, correct?
I believe that's a
I'll table.
Special meeting, not emergency.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Okay.
Can you make sure we have the correct wording for it?
Yeah, we'll give this one legal.
Thank you.
Chris, somehow if we could hear from the vendors, if that's possible.
No, because it's a sealed proposal.
In my experience, we've done that before, but that's fine. All right, next item. What was that, Sherry?
I was just gonna say, other than what you've got in the packet, I'll be here if you want to meet on an individual basis so that we can do an open meeting back. I'll be happy to go through each of the proposals with each of you individually for questions if that's what you'd like, before the meeting tonight, tomorrow, and the next week. Just let me know when and I'll set up and go through each of them with you. The matrix that's been given to you is the consensus of everything that's in the RFP, just giving you the numbers, giving you all of the different options that are there. But I'll be happy to go through anything else with you if you miss before the next meeting.
Okay. Next item, presentation of petition opposition to the city of Floresville, Texas, authorizing and approving the issuance of certificates of obligation. And I have a memorandum from the city secretary. It reads like this. On May 24th, Mr. Jim Miller delivered to me the city secretary a petition in opposition to the city of Floresville, Texas, authorizing and approving the issuance of certificates of obligation as resolved by the city of Floresville City Council at the May 10th, 2012, regular city council meeting, until such time as the issuance of such certificates of obligation are approved by the qualified voters of the city of Floresville. An election order held and conducted in the manner provided under Chapter 1251 Government Code. The Charter of the City of Floresville provides that the people of the City of Floresville reserve the power to direct legislation by initiative. Any initiated ordinance may be submitted to the council by petition signed by qualified voters of the city. And it talks about the Charter Section 7.03. Provides that additional petition appears shall contain a full text of proposed legislation, must be signed by 5% of the qualified voters. Each petitioner must personally sign his or her name. All other information can be printed by petitioner. No post office box number is allowed. It is my determination that the petition is sufficient due to the following. The petition did contain the full text of proposed legislation. The petition did contain the required 200 signatures. The petition actually contained 383 signatures. Of those, 42 were invalid. Any questions, any comments from the audience before we take action on the petition?
Certainly. I would remind the council of what that petition said. It didn't say don't issue the certificates of obligation, and it didn't say issue the certificates of obligation. It said don't do it without putting it on the ballot and letting the voters decide. This was a petition to say show us the plan and then let us decide. That's what that petition was. And the number of signatures that you cite there is nearly 10% of the registered voters of the city of Floresville. I think that speaks volumes to this council and should affect any action this council takes regarding those certificates of obligation. And I would encourage this council to order the election. Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion on the petition? Yeah, I move to order the election. The petition, okay, order the presentation of the petition. In opposition, okay. I'll make a motion we'll order the presentation in opposition to the city of Floresville, Texas, authorizing and appropriation of obligation. I'll second that. A motion by Guerrero, second by Gomez.
Thank you so much.
To accept the presentation of the petition. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Any other discussion, any other items? If not, meeting is adjourned at 8:23.